Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Saskia. She was only 5 when her parents disappeared. She didn't know what happened to them. They just left for work one day and never came home. Saskia waited for days for her parents to come home. She made herself peanut butter jelly sandwiches every day and waited. She didn't know how many days had passed by when her aunt and uncle came to her house, wrapped their arms around her, and took her away. Since then, Saskia had been living with her aunt and uncle. Every day she'd get up and go to school while her aunt and uncle left for work around the same time her parents used to. Saskia would rarely say a thing in school or at home. She got average grades, so she never stood out to any teachers. She didn't make any friends, and she didn't have much family. The only people who were in her life were her aunt and uncle. She never smiled to them or anyone else. She never frowned or made any other face. She just had a mouth that did nothing and eyes that were half open. They used to be fully open, but since the day her parents never came back, they slowly started to close. They stayed halfway open the day she gave up hope on them coming back. Of them coming back. 11 years went by and she was still the same. The same routine, the same life, and the same face. Then, one fateful day, changed her routine, her life, and her face. Again. Saskia, her aunt called from the doorway. We're leaving for work now. We know we usually leave for work after you go to school, her uncle said while kneeling in front of her. But they need us early today. Can you be a good girl and walk to school on time? We know we usually drive you, but it's not that far. Saskia slowly nodded. Her uncle stood up, waved goodbye, and left with her aunt. Saskia gathered her stuff and watched the clock. She left for school at a time she decided was appropriate, and made it there a little earlier than expected. There weren't as many people there as she was used to. To pass the time, she waited in the cafeteria and worked on homework. While she was working, someone approached her. Hey, Saskia, is it? The boy asked her. You probably already know, but there's a school dance coming up soon, and we need more people to help set it up. Do you think you could give us a hand? Saskia slowly nodded twice. Great, you can meet us after school in the gym. Thanks a lot. My name is Jess, by the way. As Jess left, Saskia waved goodbye. Then, when he was out of sight, she continued her homework. As the school day continued, none of the teachers gave out any homework. The schoolwork was simple and was easily able to be completed in 10 minutes or less. In every class after she finished the schoolwork, someone would talk to her. This surprised her. She wouldn't talk, but she would nod, shake her head, and make small body gestures. Saskia still wouldn't talk, but she listened very well. School ended and she headed to the gym. When she got there, she peeked her head in. Jess saw her and went over to her. Hey Saskia, he said to her, smiling. Glad you could make it. He walked her over to where everyone else was and introduced her to everyone. This is Jenny, there's Max, there's Amethyst, and that's Dennis. Nice to meet you, Jenny said, waving her hand. What's up? Max asked. Hi, Amethyst practically whispered. Hey, how's it going? I'm Dennis, Dennis exclaimed. While Jess explained to Dennis that he already said his name, Jenny, Max, and Amethyst showed Saskia what she could do to help. They showed her how to twist the ribbons and pin them to the wall. As the day went on, Saskia got the hang of the job she was doing. Of course, that didn't stop her from joining in when everyone decided to goof off. She even made everyone laugh a couple times when she tied a ribbon in Max's hair and when she used a ribbon to blindfold Dennis. She had fun and she could tell everyone enjoyed her presence. As it was almost time for everyone to go home, Dennis pulled Saskia away quietly, which even she knew was very unlike him. Hey Saskia, he whispered. I know we only met today, but I wanted to know if you'd go with me to the dance. After a second, Saskia slowly nodded. Awesome, I'll see you there. Remember, it's at 5 tomorrow. They went back to setting stuff up. Alright, Jess said to everyone when they finished up. Good job, everyone. This place looks amazing. It'll look spectacular when they have the colored lights on during the dance. You all did great. I'll see you tomorrow, guys, Amethyst said quietly, walking to the door. She was about to open the gym doors when they were blasted through, launching Amethyst and one of the doors across the room. As the dust settled, Saskia saw her uncle lying on the floor. He was covered in blood. Her uncle looked up and saw her. Saskia, he said, barely able to move. I'm sorry. I failed. Tears welled up in his eyes. I couldn't stop her. I couldn't save your aunt. Quiet, old man, figure said, walking into the room. She was pure black with red beady eyes. She looked at Saskia and started to walk over to her. As she approached, Saskia realized that she and the figure had the same shape. Saskia backed up as the figure got near. Don't be afraid, the figure told her. We belong together. You probably don't remember me. We were separated at birth. Oh, but we're not twins. They pulled me from you when they saw that I was in you. They had scientists and doctors work together just to separate us. Very rude, don't you think? They tried to contain me somewhere far away, the figure chuckled. But I escaped. With each day, I made my way closer to you. I was always very close, but our parents always fought me off during the day, and our aunt and uncle during the night. I almost returned to you when we were 5. I stopped our parents. I killed them good. Our aunt and uncle just had to come right away and stop me. They trapped me inside Mom's body and had specialists take me away. I still escaped. I fought our aunt and uncle for years. Now I finally won. I finally won! I won! We can be one again. The figure held out her arms. Saskia backed away. Don't trust her, Saskia, her uncle said. The figure kicked him in the head and turned back to Saskia. Haven't you ever felt empty? Unable to smile, to laugh, to cry? I'm what's missing. I'll make us whole again. The only reason anyone ever paid attention to you is because they knew of me. The figure stepped closer to Saskia. Saskia looked over at her new friends. A government official came by everyone's houses, came inside and had long talks with everyone about her and warned us that she was getting closer and to prepare ourselves. Max told her, with a guilty look on his face. But we really were your friends, Jenny sputtered out, half panicking. It wasn't because we thought you were dangerous, we really cared about you. No one said anything about thinking she was dangerous, Jenny just muttered. You see, the figure said to Saskia, I am the reason you have everything you have. Sure, I had to take out some of our family, but it was necessary. Saskia looked back at this figure and lowered her head. Saskia? Dennis asked worriedly. Come now, the figure said as Saskia remained silent. Let us become whole. The figure reached her hand into Saskia's body and grabbed her spine. Saskia tried to fight back, but she was weak. The figure entered Saskia's body. They became one again. For the first time, Saskia smiled. She was only 16 when she hung her friends with ribbon nooses. The end.